Okay, it's nice making another video on how to work on styles, how to styles in React. So I stop at this form. For this router, I'm making a project which I will be sending the video as soon as possible. And I want to talk about styling because in the video you might come across different styling, and so you can't know how it works. So that is why I have to make this video ahead for styling before creating a first project. So we want to deal with React styling. If you look at it, we have three different styling in React. We have three different ways of how we style in React. We have the inline styling, we have the CSS style sheet, which is the normal external style sheet in CSS, and we have the CSS modules. And the fourth one is this Sass styling. It is more or less like using Bootstrap. You know that when we deal with Bootstrap, it's like using documentation in order to do all those things we want to do. So we are going to document it. This one, they already have a the design for each tags. What you just have to do is put in your tags, put in your class name, and you'll be able to make use of the style. So let me talk about the three major ways, which is the inline style, the CSS styles, and the CSS module. So this is how it works. For inline style is like writing the style inside directly inside your HTML tag. So what we do is that we make use of two double curly brackets. So this is how it works. You know that this is hello world. I'm learning React style. So I have opened um, I have opened it already. So now what I will just have to do is I'll just have to come to this place inside any of the tag. I'll put my style. I'll put my style. So I will have to double this and say color. I'll set it to red. So if I set this to red and I come to this other one, I'm learning React styling. If I set this one to blue, so once I run the code, oh sorry, it has to be quoted. It has to be quoted. So the blue has to be quoted, so it will be able to identify it. So once I run it, you can see it's like writing our style inside direct HTML. So let's assume I want to add more. What you just have to put is comma, then you use a background color, background. So let me set the background to pink. No, let me set it to black. Set it to black. So once I set it to black and I come to this place, you can see the black is already showing. So you can keep on adding as much as you want here. This is how to deal with the inline style. But there's another one before dealing with this style. There's another method in which we used to make use of we call it JavaScript object. So in order to use a JavaScript object, is just like we are going to define it at the top. So once you define it, you'll be able to make use of it. So how do that one work? How do we use a JavaScript object? And there's one important thing which I want you to note, is that we used to have it when it comes to this aspect, is always in camel case. So it's always in camel case. What I mean by camel case is that the each capital letter of each word should always be capital letter. Like you can see, this is the correct way of writing in React. This is normal CSS. You put background, then you put an hyphen. But when it comes to React, you write them together, but you always separate them with the first letter, which is going to be capital letter. So we can also use this background color, and it's going to work. So the next one is this JavaScript object. Like, we have to define an object. So once we define it, we can easily use it in our HTML. So how do we do that? We are going to define an object. We are going to write an object at the top. So let me create an object here, which is const equals to style. Then so inside this place, I can take away this. Let me cut this out. Then I will come inside the object here, this object I've created, then I will use it here. So for me to use it here now, the only thing I will have to do is I will have to call the name. I will have to change the curly bracket to 1. Then I will change it to 1. It means that, okay, I want all this thing I defined for this style inside this JavaScript should work inside my HTML. So if I still check what I have here, you can see no error, everything still stands still. So if I decide to add maybe text align, like I set it to center, I think this is where they used to write it. I don't know. You can see it has moved to the middle. So all what we just have to do is set the word, write the word in camel case, and let it be at the top. So this is also for JavaScript object. So the next one is for CSS style sheet. So for this CSS style sheet, which is the second one, we need to create an external file. Like, React used to give us app.js. We need to create an external file, which is our app.js. So I'm going to use the app.js, the one we have in our project, the one we have down, which is the React. Then we come into this place, we write our code, then we import it so it can be visible to everyone. So this is how we do it. This is my app.css. Let me copy this code here, the one I have for them. Now, if you notice this place, I'm writing everything with hyphen, the way it used to be in CSS. That is how it works. When it comes to CSS, you are going to write it the way it should look. The way it should look when you are writing your normal CSS. That is how you are going to write it. So once you write it that same way, you will be able to make use of it in your work, so that you won't come across any error or any other thing. But you have to write it the way you used to write it, your normal CSS style. So you have to write it that way. So once you write it that way, you'll be able to make use of it the way you want it. So now let me change this one to green. Okay, change this one to green, so I can have it as green. I don't know why this thing is in form of so if I want to make use of this app.css now in my app.js, all what I have to do is, in this my app.js, let's assume I want to make use of let me copy this place, let me copy this line of code, is what I want to use for it. I'll copy it, that is the CSS style sheet. Inside this place, I will not use this thing. I will use a normal CSS style. You know, we used to use class, but here it's going to be class name. It's not ordinary class, it's going to be class name. You can see the convention. Then let me put BB. So you know this is a class, and inside this place I will have to change this one to be in form of a class, which is .bb. So you can see everything has changed. You can see it as a class, and here too it has already, we have connected the two together. But the last thing we have to do now is to import it. If you did not import it, it won't work. So for us to import it, I have to come to this place and say import, then app.css. So once I have it this way, it means that I've been able to import this particular one. I've been able to import all the old style that we have here. I've imported it through this place. Then after importing it through this place, I can have the result. So if I check, you can see I still have the same thing. All the padding, the center, etc., everything is working fine. So that is, now you know that here I have my app.css. It is JavaScript that created this for me. I can create another one. Let me see, style.css. Not that you have to use that one. Then I copy everything from here. I'll paste it in my style.css. After pasting it, I'll come to this place. You know, this one is the same thing, this class name is the same thing. I'll just have to come to this place and change it to style.css. So it's always good, let me use a capital letter. It's always good to start with capital letter here. So in my app.js, I'll change this one to capital letter. Then which other place do I need to change? Okay, I don't need to change anything. So I'm still using that same style. So I expect nothing to change. You can see we still have same thing. So you can create multiple pages and keep on adding your code through app.css. So the last one is the CSS module. Another way of adding style is your applications through the CSS modules are convenient components and are separated. CSS inside these modules are available for only components. So if you want to create if you are creating different components, you can keep on using a CSS module, which is a nice one to use. So how do we do it? The first thing we have to do is we have to create a CSS style module. So now you come to this place, you can use style, you create a file dot module dot css. Now let me copy everything I have here. I still want to use it. I'll paste it in my CSS style module and see maybe I'll have same thing. So now let me take away this. So I'm using this style.css module now. So what I will do here is I'll come to this place. The importation is different. Once you type import styles from, you will now enter the name, that is slash, this is it, style.modules. So once you do it this way, the next thing you have to do is to now import it. So how do you import it here? Or what you just have to do is, instead of using this class name, you are going to change it to the other curly bracket which we have. Then you are going to start with styles. Make sure the name is the same, dot bb. That is db. You know, this bb is the name I use as this class here, and this styles is the one I added at the top here. So I said okay, the class name and the styles should be added together. So if I still check this, you can still see I still have same thing. So that is the 3 ways of how we style in CSS, because the project I'll be doing will involve a lot of styles, and that is why I have to take this video ahead. So now the last one is the React Sass styling. This React Sass styling is used for using online server like Bootstrap, the way Bootstrap works. So CSS file are executed on server and sent to CSS to the browser. So once, if you want to make use of it, after having your React application, you can install it through this place. Okay, this one is already running. So another way is, anything you want to install, you can come through your terminal. So you can come through your terminal. So once you come through your terminal, you can run it. Let me show you, but I will not be running it. I think I have it on this file already. So inside this terminal is where you will just copy and paste and install what you need. So anytime you want to install anything, you can take your mouse downward and drag the terminal up, or you come to this place, you are going to see a terminal, these 3 dots, or you can click on new terminal. So once you click on new terminal, it's going to pop out same thing. This one is just taking time to load. So once you type npm install, the idea is install Sass. So it's going to download Sass for you on your project. So once you download it, what you just have to do is import the, if you type h1 now, my color, the style they have already prepared for h1 will work on that thing. Like, let me check now. You can see that it's now open I have it at my React app. So you make sure that the route that you have here is the final one here, so it's going to know that okay, it's in that current folder. So you just have to type npm install. You can type the install in full and you put sas. So once you do it like this, it's going to run it for you, it's going to download it for you. So that is how it works. So if you want to check, you come to your package.json here. These are, you can see, these are dependencies that are there. React router done, okay, and this package.log, I think you're going to see some here too. Anything you install, you are going to see it in this place, packages. You are going to see everything here. So I have not installed SAS on this project, so you just have to come to that particular place, you install it. Once you install, you are going to see it is either in, I think it's this package.json. Let me check. There's one thing I used to call, no, you are going to see it inside uh you are going to see inside package.lock. So inside this package.lock, that is when you are going to see it. So once you get to this place, you see packages and dev dependencies. Going to be this one now. There is React Router DOM install on it. So it has the version of 7.13. So once you have anything installed, everything will move down to this place. So once you install it, you'll be able to make use of it. So once you type it, you can see there's nothing much about it. You can, if you type h1, the style for h1, they already have it, so it's going to work on its own. So the next thing I'll be doing is I'll be working through a project, since I've been able to explain how to style. So have a lovely day. Let me stop this.